This is going to be the last video that I'm going to do to answer the video request on relationships. And this particular point, I'm going to cover the purpose or meaning of relationships, and within that, how it links to the meaning of life. Because part of what this person asked was, what is the meaning of relationships if not to bring joy and love? However, that's not how they've been actually living the point, the actual living of relationships. Yes, there is a bit of love, and yes, there is a bit of joy, but it's overshadowed by all of this other stuff that goes with it. So let's start off with looking at how relationships objectively function in our society. And the most common theme that you're going to find is that relationships, now this is very similar to money, but relationships serve as a form of a distraction, like a distraction from self, a distraction of self, a distraction from the world, from really actually looking at what's going on around us. And I'm not saying that relationships are bad or wrong, I'm just saying that that is how they have been designed and have evolved, in that when a person is thinking about relationships, like they want one, or they've just started one, or they want to end one, or whatever it is, when you're going through that, it takes up pretty much 100% of your conscious daily thought. When you are dealing with something to do with relationships, like I said, it's the same as with money, it takes up a whole lot of time. And it's very all-consuming. It's very overwhelming when we go through these things. It doesn't leave a whole lot of space for anything else. So when it comes to things like questioning, why is the world the way it is? Or why am I having these particular thoughts? Or why am I feeling this way? There's no space for that really to come into the equation, because all we're thinking about is love and sex and finding someone we want. Or have I found the person I want? Or do I want to spend my life with this person? Or is this the right person or the wrong person for me? Or how can I make this person love me more? Whatever. So that is how relationships typically function within the bigger picture of our lives in this world. One way we could look at it is that relationships have been used as a tool of keeping us enslaved. And when I say enslaved, I mean ignorant to the ability and capacity we have to affect change on our lives and on our worlds and in our experiences within ourselves. So in our inner and outer world. So the key that I suggest is that instead of continuing to be trapped in these vicious cycles that tend to go round and round and round when we're dealing with relationship stuff, instead of being a victim or a slave to these cycles, we can find ways that we can empower ourselves and turn the tool of enslavement into being a tool of support and self-empowerment. Because yes, as much as relationships are tools of enslavement, they are also the key, or maybe not the key, but they are a key to change, to really supporting ourselves to overcome all of these things that have been holding us back from really reaching our full potential, such as the lack of awareness that we have about ourselves, about how we function, the inability to say, I know exactly why I'm feeling this way in this moment, and I know exactly how to change it, and I am going to change it, and actually then doing it. So relationships can be a platform of support. And the difference between it being a platform of enslavement or a platform of support is simply who we are within it. Am I going to approach a relationship by becoming completely overwhelmed by it, or am I going to approach it in such a way that I am deliberate in my choices? I'm deliberate and reflecting within myself, what am I going to say? What am I going to do? What is motivating my choice? How am I going to support myself? How am I going to support my partner or my potential partner? How am I effectively going to develop this relationship so that we have good communication, so that we have a good foundation with which to develop a good sexual relationship and dynamic, so that we can explore and express ourselves? How am I going to support myself to find ways to support my partner? All of these different things that we can, any one of us, develop within ourselves and our lives, in all the different areas of our lives. It's always up to us how we are going to live our life within the position that we're in, the situation that we're in, the environment that we're in, the people that we're with. So we can decide to empower ourselves, and we can live that self-empowerment in such a way that we benefit ourselves as well as everyone around us, and start making, even if it's small, we can start making or having this effect on our communities, on our societies, on the people who are around us. Because through living as examples of better ways to deal with conflict, better ways to deal with uncertainty, better ways to deal with emotional upheaval, we can show that it's possible to do that, and initiate curiosity within other people to say, hey, maybe I could be doing this differently, and so that it has a better outcome. Maybe I don't have to perpetually be dissatisfied with my life. Maybe there's a different way. Maybe I should start looking at a different way of living, a different way of dealing with myself and my emotions. All right. So that's pretty much everything in terms of that topic, of at least in the context of the request that was sent to me. So if you have any particular requests, or if you'd like to be part of this conversation, then you can send me a direct message or leave a comment. Otherwise, thank you for watching. You can support me on Patreon or on Steemit. I will see you next time.